welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a makeup starter kit video. One of my friends and favorite content creators on YouTube, Shelbey Wilson, she's done a few of these and she inspired me to do this because I really like curating some products geared toward a specific person. And today what I wanted to do was the natural, doesn't really switch up their makeup routine and likes good solid core staples in their makeup routine type of person. So this is a little bit more quarantine style based because I don't think any of us are wearing nearly as much dramatic makeup or smoky eyes as we have been pre-quarantine. So these are just really great everyday staples for somebody who likes a really natural, effortless, just the quintessential like no makeup type of person. So let's get into it. Let's get started off with primers. I want to start with just a really great all-around primer. It's from Estee Lauder. It's the watery, oh my gosh, Future Aqua Brilliant Watery Glow Primer. The name is ridiculous, but it's a great primer. So what I really like about this one is it's a primer that goes on really nice and fluid, spreads out evenly, and it's quickly absorbed into the skin. You don't feel like you have a layer of primer on your skin, but it really just preps and plumps up the base so that any texture or dry patches or just any areas on your skin that you really want to help disguise by hydrating them, this will go in and do that, and you won't feel like you have a silicone layer of primer over your skin. And it just gives you a better base to put makeup on top of. Perhaps not the most geared towards longevity, but in terms of making your skin look really great before you go in with your base products, it's a really great one. Now, if you are somebody who wants more of a transformative step before you go in with your base products and you really want that nice, luminous, healthy, radiant glow, I think you will love the Revlon Photo, it's not Photo Ready anymore, the Revlon Skin Lights. You cannot beat this, in my opinion. This is supreme to any luxury liquid illuminator as well as any drugstore liquid illuminator. There's just something about this strobe that looks wet and glossy and really good. It's also quite customizable in terms of the intensity that you want. It does sheer out quite nicely, but can also be built up to really peek out from behind a full coverage foundation, and it's just so incredible. You can wear it underneath your foundation, on top of your foundation, and one of my favorite ways to do it is to mix it in with my foundations. Moving on to base products, I want to start off with one of my favorite everyday, just a little bit of coverage and tint products. It's from Ilia. It's the Super Skin Tint. Now this does also have added skincare benefits. It's got an SPF of 40. There's also niacinamide and squalene in here. Typically, squalene products can be a little bit more on the oily side, but I don't have an issue with this looking greasy or overly oily on my skin. And what I really like about it is it's so easy to work with. You can just use a few drops and you'll get a really nice light tint of coverage on your skin, but it's a lot more buildable than other products that are similar to this, such as the Kosas Tinted Base Oil or the Glossier Perfecting Skin Tint. This one in that family of products definitely has the most customizable coverage, and I really like that it's got those added skincare benefits. But if you are somebody who wants a little bit more of still a natural, easy, no fuss type of formulation, but more coverage, obviously, I really have been liking the Rare Beauty foundation. It's a nice everyday foundation if you're not too concerned with having, you know, full flawless or super matte looking skin or super dewy, just a really nice skin finish that you can apply with your fingertips, or you can use a brush or sponge, whatever you feel like. It's a very easy to work with formulation. It's quite buildable. It can be worn anywhere from sheer, barely there, to medium full in that little area of coverage. And it just looks really nice, satin finish. This one's a little bit more dewy, but I don't think you can go wrong with either of these. Moving on to concealers, I personally like having two types of formulations of concealers. I like having one that's a little bit more full coverage and satin, just for days where I feel like I've got a lot of skin issues going on and there's a lot more to hide. So I don't think you can go wrong with the Dior Forever Concealer. It's been a favorite of mine for many years. I like that this sets down to that satin finish because for a drier skin type, oftentimes those types of concealers are self-setting, if you will. You don't often need to use powder unless it's for something specific and you feel like you need that boost of longevity. but I barely ever set this with powder. I love the longevity of it. I love how it looks like skin because it's not too dewy, it's not too matte, and it just hides everything. Pimples, redness, it stays put, and it's not a thick or, you know, overly heavy feeling product. It feels quite lightweight and it's super easy to work with. So I love this. Great pigmentation, great for hiding anything that you're a little bit more concerned about. And for days when my skin is less finicky and I don't have quite as much that I want to hide, or I just want to go for an uber natural look, I love the RMS Uncover Up. In my opinion, this is the best undetectable concealer on the market. It blends into the skin so seamlessly. It's dewy but not overly dewy, and just really gives you that nice, youthful, bouncy looking skin. So it's really nice under the eyes, but I also like it around the corners of my nose. Not particularly the best for blemishes, just because if it's a raised area on the skin, it can tend to reflect a little bit more light and make that look a little bit more apparent. But for any dullness or darkness or redness that you want to disguise and make look a little bit more, you know, healthy, it's so good. For blushes, the Almay Healthy Hue powder blushes are absolutely incredible. They don't have an overwhelming amount of pigment to them, so it prevents you from going a little bit too overboard with your blush color, and they're just a pleasure to work with because they do have a little bit of a luminous pearl in the powder itself, so it always really gives you that juicy, healthy looking cheek, and it's just what I think you'd want from a blush. Just that nice, like, quintessential, young, youthful looking cheek where it's a little bit more reflective, and I just think it gives the appearance of more plump skin as well. Just that little bit of light reflection to where it's not overpowering, but just the right kiss of luminosity can really overall just give your complexion that added boost of health, or, you know, just make you look like you've got a little bit of sweat on your skin in a good way. It looks good. You have to try them if you haven't tried them. I've recommended them countless times on my channel. I've also been such a big fan of the Fenty Cream Bronzer. This is, again, one of those products that, because it's so emollient and creamy to work with, it blends in seamlessly. Now, I know when you're looking at it in the pan, it does look like it'd be maybe a little bit greasy on the skin, but I do find that once you've worked it in with a brush, it sets down and it doesn't tend to reflect too much light. But if you do have an oilier skin type, you can just set it with a translucent powder or maybe a powder bronzer just to kind of give it a little bit more budge proofness. But overall, this is so good for every day and just giving you a little bit of a sun-kissed glow that really looks like skin. I do find that cream bronzers tend to look a little bit more natural than powder bronzers because they do melt and mold with your skin's natural texture, and that makes them look like real tanned skin. This is the highlight that I'm wearing on my face today. I've been obsessed with it. It's the Day Glow highlight from Flower Beauty. I really like how it just gives you that soft sheen that really catches the light. And this is a cream highlight, but I think it leans a little bit more towards a gel formulated family product because it does set down. A lot of times cream highlights, if they're not a little bit more of a drier formula, those really creamy highlights, they can lend themselves a little bit more sticky and tacky even once you've let it chill out for a few minutes. This one does dry down. Now, I will say you can still feel it. It will feel like a little bit of product, but it's not going to be a distracting, tacky feeling on your skin. And the intensity is very customizable. You can wear it sheer or a little bit more intense if that's what you're into. And I also think it looks really nice on the high points of the skin underneath makeup as well because, again, it has that buildable intensity. So if you want to make it a little bit more apparent, you have the option to do that. But I also wanted to mention one that does dry down to a budge-proof finish. It's from Nude Sticks, the 24 Karat Goddess. I also really like another one of these. I forgot which shade it is, but these are amazing because they are liquid and they look like skin, but they will dry down and they will be budge proof. And with these, you can also use them on your eyes as a liquid eyeshadow as well. So it's kind of a 2-for-1. This one I probably wouldn't recommend on your eyes for an all day type of wear because it will crease and migrate around the eye space. Whereas this can double up as an eyeshadow and it's gonna be budge proof all day long. Oftentimes I don't set my face with powder because if I can skip out on it, then I will. But if I do want to ensure longevity of my makeup, I will go for a powder. And I've always been a really big fan of this one from Ilia. It's in the shade Waikiki Run, but there's also a translucent version. It's just a really nice lightweight powder. It's also talc free, so a lot of people that have a sensitivity issue with talc, this isn't going to irritate your skin. And I do find that this one I can layer up to a little bit more of a soft matte finish on my skin, and I never feel like it looks aging on my skin. That's one of my biggest problems with powders. I don't want them to settle into lines or, you know, emphasize dry, crusty areas on my skin, and I've never had an issue with this one no matter what. So it's a definite staple in my opinion, and it's not going to overly mattify your skin either. It's always gonna be that really beautiful soft powder skin finish. In terms of eyebrows, I'm gonna assume that you already have your favorite brow pencil or brow powder, so I did want to share the Revolution Soap Brows. I talk about it nonstop, but it's clear and it's going to be great for anyone because whether or not you add color to your brows, it's a really nice way to just bulk up and fluff up your brows, make them appear a lot more full, and you can really just shape and shellac your brows down in place. And I love how when I really spend some time brushing my eyebrows up, I get a little bit of an eye lift, so I feel like it gives me a little bit more lid space, and it just gives me that like snatched brow look, which I absolutely love. And the Revolution Soap Brows one, I've said it before, it's exactly the same as the Patrick Ta one, and this one is only $8. Moving on to eyeshadows, I didn't want to recommend a palette. I just wanted to recommend great staple shadows for those of you who just like a wash of light color on your eyes and you're a one and done eyeshadow type of person. I've been loving these for the past few months, the Kosas 10-second eyeshadows. I have two shades and I wear them constantly, Supreme and Globe, and I think they're the best. They are watery and fluid, and they go on much like this, and then you blend it out and you just get that really nice wash of color. They are foolproof and really great for every day. You can just dot a little bit of the pigment on your eyes, blend it out with your finger or a brush, and you just get that really nice soft wash of color. And I also did want to mention that I feel like for most people, you really only need a solid brown and black eyeliner. These are both from Wet n Wild. They are gel eyeliners, so you can put them in the tight line and in the waterline, and they're not going to budge, they're not going to move. I would suggest brown for every day. I wear brown eyeliner almost every single day. It's just a little bit more soft, but you still get drama and definition without it being, you know, overpowering or really apparent on your eye. And then a black for days where you want to do something a little bit more smoky, or you really want that added definition. And you can do a smoky eye with this 10-second eyeshadow and these two eyeliners, and you can get a really beautiful smudgy, hazy, smoky eye. So you don't need an eyeshadow palette to do a smoky eye. You can do it with some eyeliner and an eyeshadow. For mascara, I love this one, and it's also a really good natural lengthening clean volume mascara. It's the Ilia Limitless Mascara. Truly one of the most lengthening mascaras I've ever used, one of my top favorites in my mascara collection. A mascara that I also have repurchased at least 3 times at this point because I love how it doesn't even really look like mascara. It just looks like you got lash extensions. The comb is really great for separating your lashes. There's not wispiness, so it doesn't look like a mascara product. It really just looks like beautiful lengthened eyelashes, and it looks so good on the lower lashes too. It really gives you that added boost of length that everybody wants, and I don't know, it's so good. And if you're somebody who doesn't like a overly mascara looking look, I think you'd really like this one. I love tinted lip products. This is no surprise to any of you, so I did want to share some of my favorites because I think these tinted lip balm type of products are perfect for every day. Minimal touch-ups, it fades off the lips really gracefully, and they tend to be a little bit more hydrating, and just they lean a little bit more of an effortless, natural vibe that's minimal upkeep throughout the day. So obviously the e.l.f. Ride or Die lip balms, these are incredible. Sheer tint of color, very thick, very hydrating, almost like the Bite Agave lip mask. I mean, that's what I would compare these to. They are so ultra nourishing, going to be a staple for a lot of people during these colder months. I think you will absolutely fall in love with these. My favorite is Tough Cookie. And then I also really like these L'Oreal Color Riche Plumping Lipsticks. This one is Lychee Plump, which has a little bit of a gold reflect to it. And then Sparkling Honey from the Revlon Shine Lipsticks. Really beautiful, nice, neutral, everyday nude, sheer. You get that same like, you know, YSL, Chanel has some Shine lipsticks. A lot of high-end brands make things like this, and I did want to say, if you are somebody who does want to splurge on a lip balm, some of my favorites are the Dior lip glows. Now, the reason I'm going to recommend the Dior lip glows over some of my other favorite slick sheer shine lipsticks from luxury brands is because the Dior lip glows will leave you with a stain. So they will tint your lips just a bit. So you get a little bit more for your money than if you're just getting like a sheer lipstick from YSL. I still love the YSL sheer lipsticks. I'm not hating on those, but I'm saying these might be a little bit more worth your splurge because the shade will leave your lips that tint once the balm itself has worn away. And I love these so much. All right, and with the lip products being shared, that's everything I wanted to tell you about for this starter kit. If there is another type of starter kit that you'd like to see, so something that's maybe a little bit more dramatic, or maybe I could do one specifically for dry skin types or oily skin types, I would love to know if that'd be something that you'd be interested in seeing. I'm going to list and link all these products in the description box as well. And if you do have any questions regarding any of these products, you know you can always reach out to me in the comments and I'll always do my best to get back to you. Please be sure to subscribe and come follow me on Instagram as well. And with that being said, I will chat with you in the comments and see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. Bye everyone.